let's just dive right in. I want you to think about something. For the last 15 years, maybe a little more, we have all been subjects in a massive, uncontrolled experiment. The thing being tested? Well, it's all of us, human society. And the big new variable? The smartphone. We are living through this profound test on our brains, our relationships, and our communities. And honestly, the full results, the real long-term societal consequences, are just now starting to come into focus.
And the stakes here could not be higher. This quote, it just absolutely nails the urgency of what we're talking about. The digital habits we're all forming right now, they aren't just little personal choices. No, they are collectively shaping the future of our mental well-being for generations to come. So the first major impact is happening right between our ears. We are seeing a real measurable decline in our collective ability to think deeply, to really focus, and to learn. You can think of it as our collective cognitive cost. We might be engineering a future where deep thought is just harder for everyone.
Let's start with some numbers, and these are pretty startling. Starting with preteens. Research shows that kids with even just moderate social media use score a full 15% lower in reading comprehension. And when you think about it, it kind of makes sense, right? That constant, rapid-fire scrolling on a feed trains the brain for shallow scanning, not for the deep, immersive focus that you need to actually read and understand something.
And it doesn't stop there. The effect actually compounds over time. Get this. Over just a 2-year period, high social media users show 23% smaller vocabulary growth. That is a huge deficit in the very tools we use to communicate and to think critically. It's a difference between just passively watching stuff versus the active mental work of processing language. And one more for you. Let's talk about working memory. That's like our brain's temporary sticky note for juggling information. Well, it declines by 18% in preteens who use social media for more than 3 hours a day. When you put all three of those numbers together, it paints a really stark picture of the cognitive price we're all just kind of accepting as normal. And please, don't think this is just about kids. It's absolutely not. For all of us adults, the mere presence of a smartphone, even if it's turned off, sitting face down on the table, it reduces our available brain power. Our brain is subconsciously keeping tabs on it, creating this brain drain that hurts our focus and our ability to solve problems, whether we're at work or at the dinner table. Okay. So the cognitive cost is steep. But what about the social cost? That leads us to our second major theme, and it's a big one. A true epidemic of disconnection. We are facing this incredible paradox that is fundamentally changing how we relate to each other. And here is that paradox, plain and simple. We have more tools for connection than any other generation in human history, right? And yet, late teens are reporting the highest rates of loneliness ever recorded. We're living in this weird state of connected isolation, where we're surrounded by digital noise, but absolutely starved of real, meaningful human connection. And this loneliness has severe consequences, and they are not spread out evenly. Among late teens who are heavy social media users, the rate of depression among girls is a staggering 2.5 times higher than it is for boys. This gender gap is one of the most consistent findings in all of the research. It's a huge deal. So what's driving this? A key mechanism is a cycle that experts have a great name for: compare and despair. You know the feeling. We endlessly scroll through these perfectly curated highlight reels of other people's lives, their amazing vacations, their new jobs, their perfect families, and we compare all of that to the messy, complicated reality of our own lives. This constant, totally unfair comparison is just a powerful engine for anxiety and feeling like you're not good enough.
And this brings us to what might be the most critical long-term problem of all. See, these aren't just isolated issues affecting one generation. No, these digital habits are creating an intergenerational ripple effect, passed down from parents to children and getting stronger over time.
So here's how that cycle actually works. It starts with us, the adults, modeling constant phone use. This leads to something researchers call technographency. It's basically whenever a device interrupts a parent-child moment. Then, the kids internalize these habits. They learn that divided attention is just normal. And so, the cycle repeats itself with the next generation, and often, it gets even more intense.
So what this all boils down to is pretty profound. A parent's relationship with their phone becomes one of the strongest predictors of their child's future habits and their mental health. This is how personal behaviors grow into these deeply embedded societal patterns, the kind that are incredibly difficult to break.
But
And this is a really important but. These trends are not inevitable. We're not doomed. The research is clear that we are at this critical moment where we have the ability and, frankly, the responsibility to choose a different path. And this isn't about blaming anyone. It's about recognizing that we have to act together.
Building a healthier digital future is going to require a united front. It has to come from all sides. Families have to model healthy behavior and set real boundaries. Schools need to create phone-free zones so kids can learn. Policymakers have to step in and regulate manipulative design features. And yeah, the tech companies themselves have a massive responsibility to shift their focus from just maximizing engagement to actually prioritizing human well-being. It's a systemic problem, and it needs a systemic solution.
And so that leaves us with this final, critical question to wrestle with. The technology we use is designed to be persuasive. It's designed to capture our attention and hold on to it for as long as possible. And it is only going to get better and better at doing that. So the real challenge for our society is this. Can we, as individuals, as families, as a culture, become more intentional, more disciplined, and ultimately more persuasive in our own efforts to build a future where technology truly serves us and not the other way around?